Thor Odinson, Crown Prince of Asgard.
In the 7th episode of What If, we witness a big change of events, with Thor being raised in a different way, being a lot less responsible and even more reckless than his canon counterpart. How would these changes in events affect the future timeline of the MCU, with having the strongest Avenger being a man-child? What could this mean for the other heroes as they have to face the future dangers and threats, with also having to deal with a party Thor? Let us discuss this future timeline of episode 6 of What If Marvel's What If continued. Thor. Now, this episode takes place around the time of the first Thor movie, and there are many big changes already. Loki being raised by frost giants, and them not going to war with Asgard, so the whole problem in the original Thor movie does not go as normal. Earth is more comfortable with knowing of alien life, so that whole thing is not a surprise for them in the future. Captain America, the first guy, that stays the same. The Avengers isn't a thing. There will be no threat that will make Fury assemble the Avengers, since Loki never felt betrayed by Thor, and that whole storyline wouldn't have happened, then he would never have met Thanos. Also, with Thanos, the Infinity Stones all have already been collected by Odin, and are safe on Asgard. So Thanos wouldn't make an assault on Earth, since there aren't any Infinity Stones on that planet. So the T'Challa invasion would completely be avoided, and Earth would be safe. And hell, who knows, Thanos might not even be a threat this entire part. Iron Man 2.5. Now, this version of Tony will never get PTSD, since he never had to go through a wormhole to shoot a nuke into space, which in turn would mean that he would spend most of his time creating multiple suits, and go crazy with having to be protected by his Iron Man suits. Another thing is that Tony would not leak his address so no one would attack his house, and he would not be stuck in Tennessee. The 10 rings would still be a problem, no doubt, so with his more advanced red and yellow suit, he would find out about the 10 rings and figure out about Killian's plan and stop it before it would come to fruition. Thor 2. That would not happen, since the lack of the Reality Stone, and since Odin has all 6 of the stones, most likely he would have found the Dark Elves and finished all of them off. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. That would most likely plan out the same, with little to no difference. So, on to Guardians of the Galaxy. Which doesn't happen. As the way of the group meeting was by trying to get the Power Stone, none of that would happen, so there is no Guardians of the Galaxy, just some random criminals. Avengers, Age of Ultron. Now, without the Avengers being formed together, there still won't be a need for them during the Age of Ultron, as, there's no Ultron. No Scepter, meaning no superpowered twins, Tony not having nightmares, so no Ultron plan, no Vision, as there's no Mind Stone on Earth either. Really, everyone is just doing their own thing. And Ant-Man stays the same. Captain America, without the Civil War. Now, there's no team, and nothing happened to Sokovia, so the heroes can still chill and do their own stuff. Bucky would still be spotted, and it'll just be Steve and Natasha to go capture him, so it should just be Captain America chasing Bucky. Doctor Strange. The movie will stay the same until the end, when they need the Time Stone to stop Dormammu. But they did not have the Time Stone, so things looked dire until Thor would arrive. Thor has been spending a lot of time on Earth, and with Jane, that it kinda became his home for the time being. He asks how he can help, mainly because he doesn't want to go back to Asgard, so he is willing to help Doctor Strange. Strange would say that he could possibly use the Time Stone to reverse all of this, and Thor left before Strange could finish his plan, and Thor came back with his father and the Time Stone. Odin begrudgingly uses the Time Stone repeatedly until Dormammu leaves. Thor thanks his father, but quickly leaves as he is arriving. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That still doesn't happen as there's no Guardians, and Ego would have a harder time looking for his son Peter, as Quill is most likely either dead or caught in some jail. Spider-Man Homecoming. Now this movie would be normal. It'll just be Peter as Spider-Man, not really recruited by anyone. He does the little stuff, stopping normal crime, but no big threat, since Vulture can never be created without the Chitauri tech. He would stay on his own without anyone recruiting him, so Spider-Man would be his own hero. Thor Ragnarok would be avoided for now, as Odin would have aged less, since in canon, with his time stone on Earth, he did age a bit faster without his godlike powers, so for now Hela would not be released. Black Panther would happen the same, just with King T'Chaka still being alive. Infinity War. So it doesn't really happen, on Earth at least. Thanos could try to invade Asgard, but would fail, as Asgard would have aid from many different armies, like the Frost Giants, to fight against Thanos, so his goal of erasing half of life would not happen. Ant-Man and the Wasp. That would stay the same besides the post-credits scene, since Hope and the others would not be snapped. Captain Marvel would stay the same. Avengers Endgame. With Endgame never happening, our heroes' lives has been nice to them. Tony still worked on his Iron Man suit and stayed being a hero, but also built a life with him and Pepper, and had their daughter Morgan. Steve, Bucky, Falcon, and Natasha all worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. and became a special group for S.H.I.E.L.D. for any dangerous missions. But Steve would not return to his time and just spent his life with working for S.H.I.E.L.D., but he is happy with the friends he made now. Thor spent most of his time with Jane, and they ended up getting married and having their own child. Thor still somewhat remained the same as he did in the What If episode, but slowly is growing to become a more responsible adult, and with his new role of being the king of Asgard. Hulk remained hidden, and Bruce tried to stay on the low, with not bringing out Hulk, and hiding from the government. Hawkeye ended up retiring, and spending the time with his family. Ant-Man would never have to go on house arrest, so he would keep working with Hank and Hope. Scott would be able to keep his relationship with his daughter, and work on being a better father. Spider-Man would keep doing his own thing, being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and he grew in popularity, as many people like Spider-Man. Peter continued to have a normal high school life, and kept his true identity of Spider-Man hidden. Doctor Strange would keep his title as Sorcerer Supreme, and even rebuild his relationship with Christine, and become a couple while keeping his work as Doctor Strange. T'Challa would end up becoming King of Wakanda, with his parents stepping down, and officially becoming the Black Panther. The Guardians of the Galaxy, on the other hand, are not the best of luck, for some of them at least. Rocket, Groot, and Drax would have a good life, doing their own thing. Well, I mean, I guess Drax would still be in jail, but yeah. Mantis would be stuck with Ego, and Nebula and Gamora would most likely met their fate when they went to war against Asgard. Now, yes, life has been relatively peaceful for our heroes, with Thanos not being a threat and being dealt with, and with the stones being secured on Asgard. It is all good for now until we have to continue this whenever the next saga of the MCU is completed. Our heroes have been living easy lives now, but would they be prepared to face any future threat, like Kang or Hela, without having to go through the hardships they faced originally, or even the Avengers that were being formed? Hopefully with this peace, they can still be able to face any future threat they might come to face in the future. And that is going to be What If Marvel's What If Continued, Episode 7. What did y'all think about this story, if you did enjoy it? Please consider hitting the like and subscribe button, as we will always appreciate the support. Make sure to go check out our previous episodes of this series if you want to see more similar content. If you'd like to suggest some of what ifs, leave it down in the comments below. And this has been the best continuation of any other episodes we did, as most of the threats our heroes faced never became or was already dealt with, but even with the peace and happiness, it might not always be good, as they might not be prepared to face potential future threats that they might meet in the future. So let us know in the comments how y'all think would have played out. But anyways, that's all for today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.